request for a lady on YouTube. She's asked me to make a bolster. So, a Blouson Valance. So, this is what I'm going to do. This is so simple. I'm not going to spend all day on it. So I'm using a bit of scrap. I'm only showing you a sample, so I'm not making this too big. It's just for you to get the idea. So I'm going to fold my fabric up and then straighten it up. As you can see, I fold the fabric in half. If you don't want to waste fabric, then you'll use a lining to line it, but this is just a demonstration to show you how to make it. So here we go, we've got a half. Now I'm going to straighten it up. I'm going to use this as my bar because this is a demo, so I'm just showing you how to make it. This looks like it's just over 1¼ inch wide. It will look nicer if it's much more thicker, wider. But for today's lesson, this is what I'm going to use. This one's a little wider, so I'll use this. Yeah, so I'll use this as my ending. You can dress it if you wish, but I'm not going to dress it today because it's just a demo. So I've got to take in consideration the measurements for this, which is, it's just under 2 inches. So I'll make my gap, say 2¼ because I don't want it to be too much of a tight fit. Let's just check it out anyway. By the time it wraps around it, there it is. So my wood is 2¼ inch, but the wrap expansion has to be around 5 inches, so that'll be 2¼ that'll be fine. So right, so here we're going to start. We're going to determine how far down we're going to put this, the flap that's at the top. So I'm going to just keep quiet and I'm just going to make it. So now, you could either use tape and put the tape there and then stitch along here and then thread your bar through it. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use the same fabric. So I'm going to fold it down, but I'm just going to mark it all out, but I'm going to stitch the side up first. But I'm going to mark this down. So I'm going to go down so I've given it a 7-inch hem, so that's what I'm going to do, 7-inch hem. Now, you don't have to use this amount of material inside it because it is a waist, but I want this to be a bit stiff anyway. But you can just leave the fabric down. But this is a quick way of doing it for the sake of 7 inches. And then I'm going to turn it there. But before I do all this, I'll do it and then I'll continue. Mark everything out. So now I've got 6 inches here. Turn this up 6 inches. So now what I'm going to do now, I've done that, I've marked it out, and of that I'll do another marking, put a mark here, so that that's where I'm going to stitch in between. So I know roughly what I'm going to do. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to undo it, and I'm only going to stitch I'm going to take it to my machine and I'm going to stitch the 2 sides in. So I'm going to stitch the 2 sides in, and one of them I'm going to stitch it and I'm going to leave a little hole right here and a hole right there so that I can thread the next step. So let me go to my machine and sew this up. Now this is back on my table. And what I've done, you can see it's inside out, it's the wrong way. The side seam, I've stitched the side seam up, and I've done it to the other side as well. I've stitched it up all the way. But what I've done on one side, I've left an opening here. There's an opening right here. And I'll show you what I'm going to do with that later. So at the moment now that I've done that, I'm going to turn it the right way. So as you can see at the moment, all I've done is folded my fabric in half and stitched the 2 ends. That's all I've done for the moment. So we're back to the beginning, what I showed you earlier on, where I've already ironed it over. So I've put all my markings back together. Now I'm going to fold it over on itself whilst I'm here. I'm going to pin it down. Now, but this is the wrong side we're looking at. The right side is the other way. I'm going to pin each one of these down. That's going to be puffed out. Basically, that's it. Now I'm going to do 2 stitch of rows, and I'm going to put them. Oops! Oh dear! Look what I've done to the fabric. Well, it was only a sample. So anyway, that's what I'm going to thread it through. So I'm going to go stitch this now. Right, so I've stitched it up. You can see the pins. So that's the back, and that is the front. As you can see, it is so simple. A 10-year-old could do it. Remove the pins. I'm going to give the top bit a bit of an iron. Just use some soft wadding, some soft one. That hole I told you about, I'm going to put my wadding at the bottom of it. For some more. That was hard. a bit hard, but you can use soft wadding. But this one's a bit hard, but this is what I've got at the moment. As I said, it's only for a demo purpose. More wodding. Things I do for YouTube. That should help it go on a bit more easy now. Alright, so that's that. Alright, let's continue again. So that should help it to go on much more easier. But you will buy the proper rod to go through it. Now that's just a quick demonstration because I'll tell you her name later. She asked me to make this for her. So there it is. And there's the back. So that's how you make this valance. So Now the quantity of fabric you use is just the same as pencil plate. 2.5 times to give this effect. Yes, and even if you wanted to use the wood, you can use the wood, leave the wood in there. Get yourself some small brackets and screw it onto the wood and place it wherever it is you need to place it. Smaller screws, smaller brackets, and then just put it on.